Hey everyone, welcome back to the Triad Chord Scale series. I'm now going to teach you what I would call the second inversion, the even fourths triad chord scale. It's a bit of a technical name for what it really is, but this chord scale is ridiculously handy because riffs from it show up in tons and tons and tons of songs. When I talk about open E boxes, this is going to be the chord scale I talk about. I'll cover that in other lessons. For now, we're just going to get right into it. So, I'm going to start right with what I just showed you right there. So play just your regular old caged E chord. I'm using my middle finger on the second fret of the A, ring finger on the second fret of the D string, and my pointer finger on the first fret of the G string. Nothing fancy. And really what we're going to focus on are the A, D, and G strings. So this is your major shape. In each one of these chord scales, we've got three shapes: a major, a minor, and a diminished. One chord is major, the two chord is minor. So I'm going to take my pointer finger, slide it up to 2 of the G, and then use my ring and my pinky to play 4 on the A and D strings. So it's kind of like, here's the E shape. It's kind of like that same shape, but it's stretched out a bit. Instead of them being 1 fret apart, they're 2 frets apart. So see if you can just go from this E to this F sharp minor chord here. When you feel you got that, just slide that same shape up 2 frets. 3 chords always minor, so it's the same shape as the 2 chord. So we get G sharp minor, F sharp minor, and E. 1, 2, 3. When you feel you can kind of weave between those 3 easily enough, your 4 chords major, so it's going to be the same shape as the E down here, but your ring and your middle finger are going to be on the 7th fret instead. You can always play the open strings with these. They're always going to sound at least pretty decent. So pretty. So that's an A chord right there. And weave through those a bit. See if you can remember the chords you did. When you're ready to get back up to this A, you just slide it up 2 frets. This is a B chord. You got middle on the 9th fret of the A string, ring on the 9th fret of the D string, and the pointer finger on the 8th fret of the G string. Very mysterious sounding. All right, see if you can kind of get between the A, the G sharp minor here, and the B, just to kind of button up this area of the scale. Yeah, I just can't resist those open strings. All right, when you feel solid with that, we're going to go to the minor shape again. You got ring on the 11 of the A string, pinky on 11 of the D string, and pointer on 9 of the G. It's a C sharp minor chord. See if you can alternate that between that and the B here. When you feel you got that, we got one last chord to go. This is the diminished chord in this scale, and it's a little differently shaped from the other ones. I'm using my middle finger on the 12th fret of the A string, my ring finger on the 13th fret of the D string, and my pointer finger on 11 of the G string. So it's a little crooked shape. It's a little kind of hook shape like that. So you can go between the C sharp minor, the chord we were just on, and that diminished chord right there. You might have to shuffle the fingering around a little bit. There's a couple of ways to get through them, but none of them are really kind of straight shots. They're all a little bit of a twist to refinger. So, once we have that diminished down, see if you can conceptualize the E we started with, a whole octave higher. So I've got middle on 14, ring on 14, pointer on 13 fret numbers. This is literally the chord we started with, a whole octave higher. So that is the completion of the chord scale. So what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to go down on the bottom here, all the way up to the top, and then back down again. That is going to be a way of knowing we got this whole chord scale down. So let's start the E we started with. And I'm just going to kind of brush this with the open strings. It gives you a nice warm sound. So up to the F sharp minor. Slide that up 2 frets for the G sharp minor. back to the regular major shape, 4A, it's on the 7th fret. Slide that up 2 frets for the B. Now back to the minor shape. It's kind of in the 11, on the 11 and 9 frets. The diminished shape, which is a little twisty, it's on 12, 13, 11. And then E shape up here. Same shape we started with. Now, I'm going to creep our way back down, opposite direction. Diminished shape, 12, 13, 11. C sharp minor, it's the minor shape. B on 9 and 8. 2 frets down for the A. Now we're going to switch back to the minor shape, the G sharp minor. Slide that 2 frets down for F sharp minor. Makes that really nice 11 chord when you use the open string. And then the E we started with. So that is the second inversion diatonic chord scale that you can use on any of your bass strings. This chord scale, those shapes, are going to work on the E, A, and D strings or the A, D, and G strings. So any of these bottom 4 strings, those same shapes will work on, and they'll work in any different key. In some of the later lessons, I'm going to teach you how to do the modulations, how to move into different keys, but also you probably kind of heard in that there's a lot of songs that use just that chord scale with the open E strings. So yeah, I'll add some licks in the series also that show how those work. So yeah, check those out. I hope you find them helpful, and yeah, catch you later. Be well.